Welcome to the Jones Island Water Reclamation Facility. Thank you for spending some time with us today to learn about the water reclamation process and how Milorganite is made. The Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District is a regional government agency that provides water reclamation and flood management services for the communities that it serves. In 2008, MMSD contracted Veolia Water Milwaukee to operate, manage, and maintain the plants, conveyance, and deep tunnel system. The partnership is the largest of its kind in the U.S. Together, our most important job is to protect Lake Michigan and the public health of the communities that we serve. We capture and clean wastewater from 28 communities in a 411 square mile area. Did you know that just 1 inch of rain over the service area equals 7.1 billion gallons of stormwater? There are 2 plants that work together: Jones Island, located just south of downtown Milwaukee, and South Shore, located in Oak Creek. Jones Island has the capacity to treat 330 million gallons per day, and South Shore's capacity is 300 million gallons per day. On a dry day, each plant treats just over 70 million gallons of wastewater. Wastewater is used water that comes from homes and businesses. It includes substances such as human waste, food scraps, oils, and soaps. In homes, this includes water from sinks, showers, bathtubs, toilets, washing machines, and dishwashers. But how does the wastewater get to the plants? A series of pipes and pumping equipment transport the water to the Jones Island and South Shore plants. 300 miles of pipes are owned and maintained by MMSD. These are the larger pipes that are deep in the ground. And several thousand miles of sewer pipes are owned by the municipalities, businesses, and homeowners. About 5% of the regional sewer system is combined. A combined sewer consists of a single pipe that collects both sanitary flows from homes and businesses, as well as stormwater from the streets. Stormwater runoff is the #1 source of pollution in our waterways, so we are able to clean some before returning it back to the lake. The remaining 95% of the system is made up of separate sewers. Separate sewers have one pipe that transports sanitary flows from homes and businesses. Preventing sewage from backing up into your basement is our highest priority. Sometimes, more water gets into the sewers than the 2 plants can handle. This can occur during rain events and because of system leaks. When this happens, water can be stored in the deep tunnel until it can be treated. During and just after a rain event, the deep tunnel pumps can be used to feed water into the plants so that we can avoid backups. After the plants catch up, those 3 pumps that are 5,500 horsepower each can send the water back up to the 2 plants to be treated. Thanks to the deep tunnel and many other improvements, we average just 2.4 overflows per year, down from 50 to 60 per year, and have captured and cleaned 98.4% of all the water that's entered the regional sewer system since 1994. Now let's learn how the water is cleaned at Jones Island. Water comes into the plant from large pipes that run under the river. The first phase is screening. Large Archimedes screw pumps move the water from one level to the next so we can take advantage of gravity to move the water throughout the plant until the final step of the process. The water flows through tightly spaced bars to take out larger materials, for example, plastic bottles, tree branches, and wipes. Sand and grit, which can be detrimental to the mechanical components of the plants, are removed using centrifugal force. The water spins around in a circle, which causes the sand and grit to settle to the bottom of the chamber, so that it can be removed and disposed of. Next, the water moves on to primary clarification. Large settling ponds allow the flow to slow down, causing the biosolids to settle. Fats, oils, and grease float to the top, and solids sink to the bottom. An arm that takes an hour to rotate once skims the top and the bottom of the clarifier. 50 to 60% of all biosolids are removed at this point, and this is the end of the treatment process for many developing countries. The solids, scraped off the bottom of the clarifier, are sent to South Shore to be put into anaerobic digesters. Methane, a byproduct, is captured and used to help power the plant. Here's a fun fact. Seagulls will eat just about anything, including the food particles that float on the surface of the clarifiers. They aren't on our payroll, but are helping us clean the water. The flow then proceeds to secondary to begin biological treatment. Microscopic organisms, or good bugs, that naturally occur in the wastewater break down the organic material. At Jones Island, we use a process called waste-activated sludge. Air is pumped into the aeration tanks, suspending the organic material, which makes it easier for the bugs to consume. The air and movement also encourage the bugs to reproduce. The mixture moves on to secondary clarification to spend some time in another set of large settling ponds. We stop pumping air into the wastewater, and with no new nutrients to feed off of, the heavy organisms settle to the bottom. Those microbes are then scraped off the bottom. Some of them go back to the aeration tank to live out the rest of their life cycle. And some of the bugs are mixed with the primary sludge that was sent to South Shore to be treated anaerobically. That mixture of primary and waste-activated sludge is sent to the drying and dewatering facility to be made into Milorganite. Here's another fun fact. Once the bugs settle out, the water is very clean. So clean that ducks, known to be very picky, like to swim here. Finally, the clear water moves to disinfection so that any pathogens, bacteria, or viruses can be eliminated using a chlorine similar to what is used in swimming pools. After the chlorine is neutralized, the clean water can be discharged back into Lake Michigan. The water has been treated and returned to Lake Michigan. But what about the sludge? Since 1926, MMSD has been producing lawn fertilizer from the biosolids, or sludge, created as a result of the water reclamation process. Milorganite stands for Milwaukee Organic Nitrogen and is an environmentally friendly way to dispose of this material. This biosolid fertilizer is composed of heat-dried microbes, or the bugs that have digested the organic matter from the wastewater. First, water is squeezed out of the sludge using belt filter presses. Rows of plows create channels so that most of the water can fall through the press using gravity, which was free last time I checked. After one final squeeze between two fabric filters, the product, which is now the consistency of wet cardboard, moves on to the next step. The product is put into one of 12 enormous dryers, where it tumbles around and breaks up into pellets. Heated to temperatures ranging from 900 to 1200 degrees Fahrenheit, the dryers remove any moisture from the product and kill any remaining pathogens. Along with being screen tested to meet quality and size specifications, Milorganite is also analyzed for at least 20 parameters every day to comply with EPA standards and protect human health and the environment. After passing all the tests, it's ready to be packaged and shipped throughout the USA. The treatment process is exceptional, but we cannot treat everything that gets into the system. Help us by taking action. There are many things you can do to help protect Lake Michigan. To keep our water healthy, safely dispose of household hazardous waste at a drop-off collection site instead of putting it down the drain. And take your unused prescription medicine to a free drop box. Be sure to sign up for the Water Drop Alert. This alert reminds you to use less water during a rain event. Capturing water where it falls is another way to take the burden off of our treatment. You can be a Fresh Coast Guardian by installing a rain barrel, planting a rain garden, or considering native landscaping in your yard. We take pride in returning the cleanest water possible to Lake Michigan. So it should be no surprise that one of our top priorities is strict adherence to environmental regulations. For the more than 700 cities with systems like ours, the Environmental Protection Agency has set a goal to capture and clean 85% of all wastewater. Since 1994, when the deep tunnel was completed, we have captured and cleaned 98.4% of all the water that's entered the regional sewer system, far exceeding the national goal. Thank you for your time today. We hope that you enjoyed the tour of the Jones Island Water Reclamation Facility and learned about how we can all work together to protect Lake Michigan.